Mr. President.
Senator from North Dakota.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. Opportunity to fit our vision. Now, Mr. President, that's a quote, not from some communist activist leader somewhere in the United States, not from some third world general. No, that's from the third-ranking Democrat in the United States House of Representatives. Let that sink in for a minute, Mr. President. Read it again. This is a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. And I thought a bogus impeachment was shameful enough, but clearly not. Mr. President, people in this country are dying. They're dying literally. People are losing their jobs every day, literally. More and more people are getting sick every day, Mr. President. And that's why senators rushed back here. We rushed back here to pass the House bipartisan legislation that was negotiated between the President and Speaker Pelosi. Then we let both sides work on the next steps. We passed that bill within less than 24 hours of receiving it from the House. As imperfect as it was, we passed it with 90 senators voting for it. That's how bipartisanship works, Mr. President. We worked around the clock and to craft a plan, and we succeeded. And now here we sit, listening to our Democratic colleagues pretend that this is a partisan plan, as if they weren't sitting in the room as it was being negotiated. Many of their ideas are in this bill. But why are they doing that? Well, I'll tell you why they're doing it. Because when we see a rising body count, they see a political opportunity. Shame on them. The Trump derangement syndrome is accelerating the coronavirus. And they should be ashamed of themselves. They see a chance to impose their vision, their left-wing radical vision on our country because they think they can force it past us during this crisis. Their extreme partisan obstruction has blinded them. What has happened to this place, Mr. President? Why are they even here? Attempts to work across the aisle, honest attempts by rank-and-file Republicans and rank-and-file Democrats have resulted in our Democratic colleagues creating a revisionist view of what we've been doing and blind political opportunism just to advance their extreme left-wing agenda. An agenda that includes things like the Green New Deal, something that actually had a vote on the floor of the United States Senate, and guess how many of them voted for it? None. It's that nutty. None. And yet now, that's the agenda. That's their vision. That's the opportunity that they see. How about socialism for the entire economy, as though it wasn't enough just for the energy sector? Not enough just for the healthcare sector. Not enough just for the banking sector. Let's just have socialism. Let's debate which Democratic presidential candidate is the best socialist. How about hurting our farmers, our ranchers, our oil workers, our truck drivers, our restaurant owners, our manufacturers, our welders, everybody? Mr. President, we're not even asking them to vote on this plan. The vote last night was not on the bill. The vote this afternoon was not on the bill. It was simply a vote, a procedural vote, to begin the debate, to continue the negotiations on the bill. Not one moment would have been lost, but guess what? Now over a day has been lost while we dither. And we're asking that when they do finally agree to help the American people, that instead of killing the economy as they've been doing and the jobs, that we're ready to act on the bill. But no, not good enough for them. Many of my colleagues have talked about what's in the bill. $4 billion for the Centers for Disease Control. Do you think they could use it? How about $9 billion for child nutrition? Do you care, Democrats, about child nutrition? We've often heard you talk about it. Where is it now? How about $20 billion for veterans, Mr. President? They don't care about that? $50 billion for our farmers I spoke about. How about $75 billion for healthcare providers? Do you think your healthcare providers could use a little more assistance, Democrats? I think they could. And they need it now. They needed it yesterday. How about $350 billion for the small businesses that employ all those people that are now getting fired because they can't keep their doors open? But that's not even worth the debate to our Democratic colleagues. Oh no. And apparently, it's all now back open for debate. Reports today say that the minority leader is holding the $50 billion for farmers hostage so they can get more of the opportunity to restructure things to fit their vision.